Is game sharing on Xbox about to get a lot better? That's the question I was asking yesterday when I saw a story from Windows Central, and you can see that up on the screen as I'm talking now. And it says, Xbox users will soon be able to sign into multiple devices simultaneously. Sign into your Xbox console and Project xCloud at the same time. Interesting though, there's a slight discrepancy between the headline and the subheading because they say multiple devices in the headline and then Xbox console and Project xCloud in the subheading. Now, I don't think there's a lot to read into this. I think Project xCloud itself is in effect another Xbox. So when they say multiple Xboxes or multiple devices, they mean just that. Xbox users will soon be able to sign into more than one console at any given time. Now, obviously take my view on this with a pinch of salt because I could be completely wrong and it could only apply to xCloud. But I suspect not. But anyway, look, this is what Windows Central say about this. They say, one of the biggest downsides of Project xCloud right now is that it utilizes your single Xbox Live point of presence, meaning that when you sign in on your phone, you can be signed out on other devices. For some family household setups, this negates one of the best use cases for xCloud, letting your family watch Netflix or Disney, and there's other services obviously, on your console while you get your game on with your phone or tablet. Thankfully, that's about to change. But as I say, xCloud, in effect, is just another Xbox. When you sign into xCloud, you're seen as signing into an Xbox. And that's why it signs you out of your current Xbox. So if they're going to change this so you can have more than one point of presence, as they call it, then this could also apply to Xboxes. And as I say, I think that's probably what it is going to mean. And this is interesting for people who are game sharing because game sharing can be a bit of a pain in the arse at the minute. And I've actually made a video talking about why I don't think it works properly. As it stands at the moment, you can have one home console. And what the home console allows you to do is have anyone log onto that console and they can play the games that were bought with the primary user, the primary account. So, for instance, I'm the primary account holder at home, and I've set my boy's Xbox as my home console. If my boy then goes in and logs on to that home console, the console that's in his room upstairs, he can then play the games I've bought to his heart's content. Because in effect, what I've done is I've set it up so he can game share. Now, if he comes downstairs and he wants to play those games downstairs, he can. He goes into the lounge and he goes and plays those games. But because it's not set as my home console in there, I've got it set up to automatically log me on. So it logs me on and then he comes along, he logs in as well, and he can play the games. Where it gets problematical is if I come in and I want to play a game or something and I load up xCloud, and I log into my account, it will kick him out of that console. It won't do it upstairs because that's set as my home console and he can carry on using that, if I log into a different machine because I don't need to be logged into my home console. With the downstairs one though, where I do need to be logged in, as soon as I log in elsewhere, it logs it out and then it kicks him from any games he's playing. And the same with if he's watching Netflix or Disney or anything else. So, same with if I come in the office. If I come in, I sit in the office and I log in the office, he gets kicked when he's playing in the lounge. Again, not upstairs on the console that's set as my home console. So you can have one console set aside for game sharing. Now, as I say, with this changing so you can have multiple points of presence, I'm guessing, and I am only guessing because they've not talked about game sharing, and it's this kind of grey area, game sharing. But I'm guessing because I can log on to more than one console at a time, or more than one service at a time, the service being xCloud, I could, in effect, come in, log into xCloud, or come into the office, log into my Office Xbox, and my lad can carry on playing without anything changing, because it's not logging me out of that Xbox. And as I say, I'm only speculating on this, but that'll be a big deal, because it means that you could have, say, for instance, if you've got 2 kids, you could have, both kids could have an Xbox each, and they can log in with their accounts. And because I can have multiple presences, I can have a home console, I can have another console where I'm logged in, I can come and log in the office, and they can still carry on playing because I can remain logged into those consoles. And they won't, in effect, have to buy those games again because they are game sharing with me. And if it does change in that way, as I say, it is going to be a big deal. And I'm only speculating. It may not work like that. Microsoft might bring in some restrictions to stop that from happening. But I really hope they don't, because this would bring it in line with the way in which Google works and Apple works with, you can have multiple people in your family set up and they can, in effect, use the same software and games and apps that you've purchased. And you can just allow them to have those apps and use those apps. And this would, in effect, bring that into line with that. You'll be able to go in to any Xbox in the house, and as long as I'm logged into that Xbox, they can log in and carry on playing. And there is a limit with this. They couldn't play under my account because, as it says here, let me see what it says. This means you'll be able to continue using streaming apps and services like Netflix, YouTube, Disney, or Microsoft's own movies and TV on the same account while using Project xCloud on your phone. But you wouldn't be able to play games. Say I'm logged in one console and then I go and log in into another console. I can obviously load up games on both consoles at the same time with that one account. That wouldn't be possible. But because I'm logged in, my lad could log in with his account and play those games. As I say, the way it's set up now with game sharing, but you can only do it on a home console. I don't know. This may not, as I say, it may be that they have restrictions to stop that from happening, but I hope not. And if it works the way I hope it does, this is a really big deal for families. It's going to save them some money. It's going to make Microsoft's Xbox an even more attractive proposition as long as people know about this. Because if you've got a family and you only have to buy one digital version of a game, then, it's a no-brainer, really. And if this allows you to play Game Pass games across the family like this, well, it makes Game Pass even more of an attractive proposition as well. You've got 3 consoles in the house. You're logged onto the 3 consoles. Your kids can log onto those consoles as well and play those games under their accounts without having to buy again. And that's a huge, huge deal for families. It's a very good value for money proposition. And as I say, I really, really hope that that's what this means. It may not, and we'll have to wait to hear more. But the headline seems to suggest that it might. And if that is the case, I'm going to be very, very happy because I've been calling out for this for ages now. It is Microsoft, though, so you never know. They might hobble this in some way. It wouldn't be the first time they've done that. But I'm crossing my fingers and hoping they don't, because this could be fantastic. And it's much bigger than I think a lot of people realise. This is really big news. If you are a family with a couple of kids, it's going to save you a lot of money. But anyway, look, I'm wittering on now. I'm going to finish up and I'll speak to you guys in the next one. Bye.